the 30-second ad plays, then we're...
Ad?
Yeah, ad.
No!
Yes.
How could it? How could it do that to us?
Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. We are back with the Bun Buns tonight, as you can see.
Buns?
Oh, you two stop fighting over the bar.
Pretty much.
Cats and dogs living together. Is the world coming to?
Constant fighting, that's what.
Yep, and they are going at it. Anyway, tonight we're going to try and finish up with the Sylph Chip story arc and hopefully get back to the Waking Sands to push forward on MSQ. Woo! Though we do have a side quest over there. He's staring at me. Actually, he's not staring at me, but I can sense the vibes. Shall we see what he wants?
Again?
Probably something unsavory that he just doesn't want to do himself.
Yeah, something involves something, some unsavory business like leaving the bar.
Yeah. Well, it is kind of cozy in here.
Shadows of the Empire. Buffalo would be most grateful if you could hunt down some Garlean interlopers in his stead.
See what I was telling you? Something unsavory.
Yeah, like leaving the bar, because the Garleans aren't in here.
Nope.
You're back, lass, and something tells me you've not come for a flagon of Buscarn's ale. All the better that. I just overheard some Garlean stragglers are seen in the Twilswood, and you know they're not like to be up to any good. Eh? Why, I'd like nothing more than to get those Imperial horses myself, but I fear I've other duties to attend to this day. We're counting on you, lass.
Yeah, he totally doesn't want to leave
unsavory,
the bar.
Yeah, unsavory business like leaving the bar.
Hello, Ongi. Good to see you.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like we have to go out back. The long way.
No. Turn around.
Yeah. Out back. Oh, I guess we can go this way.
You know, like right towards the orange circle?
There's 2 orange circles.
Yeah, and one's directly north of this one.
Hayfoot, Strawfoot.
Uh-huh, and I'm the one who's supposed to get lost in these.
Okay, where are these Garlean interlopers? Oh, interloper!
Probably someone inaccessible from here.
Wait. Under the bridge. Sneaky, sneaky.
He's just trolling us.
Too bad we don't have any goats. Oh, that's one.
Yep. Time to find the other. Yeah, I'm having some network issues.
Aw.
You're moving around kind of strangely.
Ah, there it is. Oh, bugger.
Fine. Feel better?
A little.
So
Where
where
was
is
it? It was up on a rock. There it is.
Ah! Oh, looking the wrong way. Ah, right.
After these kid draft messages. Well, hopefully Baron will be along
Is the wind
soon.
straight? Yeah, the Wind Sprite wants some of you too.
Of course he does. Everyone wants some buns.
And level.
Nice.
Okay.
Destination.
Aren't you glad I was there to steer you straight?
And just double checking for those in the audience, are sounds coming in okay? You can hear me, you can hear Ladonia here.
That would be good.
Sound work is just black magic.
Point being?
I have no point, except that it's like annoying and difficult. It makes me want to straighten my hair.
Like everything else in the world.
Pretty much. Okay, we did the annoying thing so you didn't have to leave the bar.
So to those girling dogs, swift and sure as I saw to me me duties, did ye? On behalf of old man Buscarin and me compatriots here at the Druthers, if me gratitude and then some.
Uh-huh.
What with ye and myself seeing to matters last, I tell you, no flagging of mead or girling troublemaker around these premises is safe.
You keep telling yourself that, boy.
Well, he's quite right. There's not a flagon of mead in this place that's safe from him.
Okay, Buscarin. Sorry that took so long.
A simple gift. Buscarin has something he wants delivered to the sylphs. Say, friend, there's something I'd like to ask you to see delivered to the sylphs of Little Solus. This is Zema Rose Oil. It's a gift to celebrate the safe return of their tribe's elder, and a token of Gridania's desire to unite. The wood is not what it once was. The calamity changed the elementals, weakened them. Until their strength is returned, we must lend them ours to keep the wood safe. But ours alone will not be enough. We must have the strength of the sylphs as well. Only by working together and fighting together will we survive together, and the 12's wood with us. The gift I ask you to bear is a symbol of the hope that both Gridanian and sylph alike will live to see the light beyond this darkness.
No worries, no worries. We'll get this rose delivered in no time.
No time to find us next week.
Do you see any side quests here? I see no side quests.
There's a bunch over in Silent Arbor.
We're going to ignore those. Those are level 26, and we're still in, 24 NFQ?
Yeah.
We'll get pointed back there eventually.
That's what I'm afraid of. And since that hit 26, it's time for a little bit of church practice.
Of which? How
and I will be back in a bit. Get to the sylphs. I think I might need a vendor.
Well, we are going past a vendor here in Quarry Mill.
I'm definitely having some issues. You're pausing on me a bunch.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, there's an arms mender here.
That counts.
And I think there's a merchant. Yeah, the Traveling's arms merchant on the other side.
The mender is all I need. Wow, yeah, I'm getting delays.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, so am I. I'm so sorry that you have me standing around near such temptation.
Nope, no, ignore the bangs. We will deal with them later.
But they're so pretty.
I know. They're all sparkly and golden.
Well, you put on the traveling music. I will be back in a minute.
Okay. Yeah, I am getting kind of a lower frame rate. It's odd. Okay, it's saying 60 to 71 frames per second. Meh. I mean, I'm not running a top-of-the-line machine, but my machine ain't shabby either. In fact, it just got an upgrade not too long ago, didn't it? Yeah. So I want to check something real quick. That one, not that one, that one. You going. Closing my browser. I had my fishing app running because I cannot fish without it. Yeah, one of the really, really fugly gnats of unusual sizes. I mean, look at these things. They're like, ew! And they're as big as I am. Ew! I'm gonna have to kill them, aren't I? Yeah, I'm gonna have to kill them. While I wait for the Donya to do her thing. Nope, these are not the murder hornets. We do have murder-like hornets in the game. These are gnats. And I think these are uglier. Ew. Oh, it just like stuck its tongue out at me. Ew! Ew! Why do I have to do this thing? Because it's here and it's like eating up all the NPCs. That's why half of them are missing already.
You're off fighting insects of unusual size.
Yes! And ew!
Yes.
They attack by sticking their tongues out at me! Make them stop!
Okay.
You do the explodey thing.
I don't know explosion yet. This is only fire 1.
Oh, that's right. You're only a thaumaturge. A wee piddly thaumaturge. Man, these things are still.
Yes, yes they are. Perfect timing. I'm out of mana.
Okay, let's go talk to the sylphs. I like the sylphs much better than those things. Maybe they'll have some, like, perfume or something that I can use to wash this gunk out of my hair.
You need a fly swatter the size of a mountain for those things.
Okay, Quaxia. A gift from the walking one to Scar? A gift for these ones?
Eorzea rose oil. A fragrant oil pressed from freshly harvested Eorzea rose hips.
Such a lovely scent. This one has never smelled anything like this before. Walking one Buscaran and adventuring ones are very kind. Know that this one is deeply grateful. Many walking ones are scary. Many walking ones many walking ones utter many lies and much deception. But this one is moved. Let these ones be friends forever. Yeah, I like the sylphs.
Oh, look, side quest.
I guess we're doing a side quest.
The blood price.
Dun dun dun.
Eorzea wishes to show you her immense gratitude. So immense that it can only be contained in a belt.
This one wishes to thank the adventuring ones. Adventuring ones save the elder one. But this one must ask a favor first. Will adventuring ones bring 3 bottles of fresh blood? Is morbid favor, this one knows. But it must be fresh blood from vile ones known as Jingas. Here, adventuring ones, take blood bottles. Use on almost dead vile ones and take fresh blood.
You
At
know,
least the Jingas are slightly less ooze than the giant gnats, though gnats versus fleas, take your pick.
I suppose she wants a particular kind of blood, because I've got like 5 bottles of blood already.
Yeah, she wants a particular kind of blood. She wants Jinga blood.
Yeah.
Not any Vilekin blood, Jinga blood.
Jigga.
As we sneak past the wild boys. And the bats. And more black bats.
Boy, I hope my connection sticks out at some point soon.
Oh dear. Oh,
Because
that's
you
the
keep
wrong.
going like a half dozen steps and then pausing.
Oh dear. Maybe turn off AUX?
I don't think that's gonna be it, and I wasn't having it earlier. Swollen Giga.
Yep. Time to deal with the Jigas.
You ready?
And we got to go fly along with it.
Yes.
That's right, little Wolfie. You take on that glowfly. Don't kill me.
Oh. Oh, empty blood bottles. Oh, it's one of those.
And there's only 3 in the entire field, so we have to wait for it to respawn.
But of course.
But first, killing the glowfly.
Yes. Blue fly, don't bother me.
Okay, stop here.
Yep. Okay.
Got 1 of 1?
1 of 3.
Okay, 1 of 3.
Whoa, okay. Yeah, I skipped a few seconds to do a thing of that combat.
Okay, taking the bottle.
2 of 3.
Woohoo!
And we have 2 more.
Now remember, little Wolfie, you have to wait and kill him.
Okay.
Keep bottle.
3 of 3.
Yes, I am complete.
Woohoo! Part of this complete quest.
collect them all and share them with your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go away, Mr. Ziz. Okay, Eorzea. Did adventuring ones bring blood for vile ones? Yeah, right here.
Chiga blood. The deep red blood of a fattened vilekin. For some unknown reason, the humors will not coagulate.
This goes here and that goes there, then threads like this, then put this together. Done! This one has made a talisman for adventuring ones. Is magic talisman will protect adventuring ones from scary ones, and is token of this one's friends. These ones owe adventuring ones many, many things.
Right.
Not a bad belt for capture. Just a second. Oh, is that the very Lambo cup? Oh, that is a total upgrade. I'm going to upgrade that as soon as I extract materia.
Ow, 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 ow.
We're getting sometimes.
Ow.
Are you hurting your ears again?
No, my feet.
In fact, I might have a new home for Vogue, too. Give me just 1 second. Is that everything? I see a wand in there. A whispering wand for Conjurer. That is an upgrade. Do I have a shield somewhere? No, I do not. Oh boy,
You're shieldless?
I am shieldless. Okay.
Excuse me a moment. There's a vendor over here somewhere, right?
Upstairs, but I think she's the, she might not talk to us because she is the Beast Tribe vendor.
Sylphic vendor.
Currency? No?
No items to trade.
Yeah, she's the Beast Tribe vendor.
Yeah, oh well.
She doesn't
I've
deal
got
in.
so much. I have a bunch of junk to sell off. And she's too smart to take it.
I wouldn't want your junk.
I don't want my junk.
Yeah, that's part of the problem. Blaxio. Walking ones may think this one's home is small, but these ones has biggest home of all. The forest itself is this one's home. What does walking one think of that? Yeah, it's a pretty forest.
And I'm not gonna argue with a point.
Cookseal.
Believe in yourself.
Ow.
Yeah.
I forgot about that title. Ow.
They have so many of them.
Yes.
Gramuxio wants you to discuss peace with Frixio. And do you see what I see in that image?
Yes, I do. This one has been expecting walking ones. This one fetches elder one. Hello, elder one. It's good to see you. This one is pleased to see walking ones again. Welcome to the home of these ones.
Ah, there you are, Ladonia. We have just been hearing tell of your deeds of daring do. Well done.
Ah, the walking ones who aided Eorzea. This one is grateful.
A pleasure to have been of service. If you do not mind my asking, how did your misadventures come about?
This one does not mind. The misadventures, as Walking One calls them, of this one began when Imperials entered the woods. Feared in trouble, these ones decided to watch Imperial ones very closely. But this one watched too closely, and Imperial ones noticed and tried to catch these ones. Having nowhere else to hide, this one fled to Todorok. But that this one had not. In Todorok, a sinister one robed in black tears tried to feed this one to many-legged one. A sinister one robed in black? Why do I have a feeling I should be more worried about them than I am? Thank you, Yeda.
Yes, you should be. Elder Frixio, we come to you as emissaries of the nation of Gridania. This missive bears the words of the Elder Seed Seer.
This one sees. So walking ones of the Gridania are fearful of Lord Ramu.
Plainly put, yes. Your people summoned the Lord of Leven but once, yet that single occurrence occasioned great alarm.
But if not for the Gridanians dislike you or anything, actually it's the opposite. They think of you as friends and they don't want anything to get in the way of that. That's why the Elder Seed Seer wrote to you. This one well knows and respects Horned One Khan Isena. Be assured, like walking ones of Gridania, this ones have no desire for conflict. These ones resort to summoning Ramu to protect the woods from Imperial ones. This one counseled against doing so, but was not heeded. Against this one's wishes, Lord Ramu was summoned, and all the ones who took part became touched ones. These ones want so desperately to turn touched ones back to normal ones, but do not know how, and still do not know.
Ah, Ramu, half man, half beard, and another half beard for good measure.
Touched ones, meanwhile, want to turn these ones into touched ones, and did know how. So this one fled to Little Solace with all these ones who did not wish to be bound to Lord Ramu. But walking ones of Gridania need not fear touched ones or Lord Ramu. Unlike other primals, Lord Ramu is not callous and cruel. So long as walking ones do not trespass on these ones' ancestral homes, where touched ones reside, walking ones will not suffer thunderous judgment. But this one has spoken enough of touched ones. This one would speak instead of these ones. And as this one said, these ones desire peace with walking ones of Gridania. And so, these ones asked for a chance to set things right.
By way of an addendum, mortals who are tempered come to take on the qualities embodied by the primal in question. In the case of the sylphs, Ramu's influence has made them fiercely protective of their homeland.
That explains why they're so hostile towards trespassers. But what about the abductions?
A fine question, Ida. The abductions are, I believe, an expression of the tempered sylph's desire for reconciliation, another quality traditionally associated with Ramu. In the crudest manner imaginable, they seek to bring their fellows back into the fold. A timely reminder that the challenges posed by each primal are unique. Elder Frixio, we thank you for making your will known to us. The people of Gridania will rest easier in the knowledge that they and the sylphs are united in their desire for peace.
Wishing to cooperate, this one has written down the feelings of these ones. Please see that these feelings are conveyed to honored one Taisina.
And with that, I believe we can lay the matter of Ramu to rest.
That Sylph Elder is very reasonable, I must say. You could learn a lot from him.
Was that... I know I've been keeping an eye on chat, or trying to. Was that a jibe? If so, I feel it only fair to observe that one of us wouldn't recognize reason if it punched her in the nose. Did I say fair? I meant reasonable.
Anyway, we're going to head back to the Walking Sands and tell them in Philly all about it.
Second. Fear not. We will be sure to mention the instrumental part you played in all of this. And while we see to that, we should appreciate it if you would deliver Frixio's missive to the Adder's Nest. Elder Frixio, we humbly thank you for your time. It has been an honor.
The honor is this one's. Together with the walking ones of Gridania and these ones, find a way to live in peace. Please wait, walking one Rena, walking one Madonia. This one has yet to give walking one a token of this one's appreciation. When these ones summoned Lord Ramu, these ones were gifted with a crystal. This one would now bestow the crystal upon walking ones as a symbol of one's trust.
Well, this is a lot easier than the last couple of crystals we got. And again, thinking of the quest line we just went through, easy may not be the word.
Yeah. That's what, number 3?
At least, yeah. Three down, 3 to go.
This one was not mistaken about walking ones. Walking
Wow.
Ones is destined to walk the fate far crueler than this one can imagine. A brilliant light from within Walking Ones enveloped the crystal this one saw. Mark this one well. That crystal will one day be of use to Walking Ones. Walking Ones must keep that crystal safe at all times.
Well, it's kind of in metaphysical storage at the moment.
Before Walking Ones returned to Gridania, this one would ask Walking Ones to watch the Touched Ones. So long as Touched Ones are not troubled, Touched Ones will not make trouble. If Walking Ones witness Touched Ones making no trouble, perhaps Walking Ones can testify to Walking Ones of Gridania that these ones mean no harm. This one's homeland is fraught with danger. This one marked down safe places to look out for Touched Ones. Okay, now that we're out of major cities,
And in the rain.
you might actually want to check Crunchyroll. They have actually been doing a lot of translations for all of South America. And I believe they have Gundam in their catalog, but I don't know if they have the rights for the South America airing in there. So it's a possibility to poke into, but they have quite an extensive Gundam catalog there.
Yeah.
And I do know they do have legal stuff for streaming in South America. Okay, I guess we stand on it? Yep.
Pretty much.
Yeah, there's a lot of Touched Ones.
There we go. A peaceful forest, but not for long. There are timbered sylphs in the distance. You do not sense that they pose a danger if left alone. But if you get too close to them, aggro hoy.
Yeah, because they're like, what, 40-somethings in that zone? Late 30s,
yeah.
early 40s? And they go up to 50s the deeper you go in. Yeah, we don't want to mess with those.
That area gets dangerous. Okay, once again on the road, and I will be right back.
Hello, Foxfire. Welcome, welcome. As you see, we are finishing off the arc dealing with the sylphs. We have just gotten our Crystal of Lightning as our elemental. And now we are heading back to Gridania to talk to the Twin Adder to finish off the chain and figure out where our story leads. At some point, we still need to do the Gladiator and Thaumaturge 25 quests. I think we'll be shuffled back to Old Daw after this, so we can do the wrap-up of that.
Yeah, I think the next thing after this is probably going to be reporting back to Minfilia. So probably do the class quest on the way to that.
Yeah, because I think the next story arc heads into Little Alamigo.
Okay. Yeah, I suppose we're about the right level for that. And since I was away at that moment, hello to Foxfire Glow. Good to have another person around.
No, I haven't. Oh, Gadanya, as wet as ever. Almost as wet as dry bone.
No, it doesn't come down nearly as heavy here.
And someone's having a social occasion. Man, that's a
Indeed.
lot of red wedding dresses.
Oh.
Oh, 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 oh.
I just realized I have some business to take care of.
Hmm?
Very important business.
And what business is that?
No, that's not what I want.
Ah, right.
Ah,
Your feet must feel a lot better now.
hold on a second. Okay, that one's fine. Actually, I want to check the... Yeah, sure. And... yeah.
Speaking of which, I should check mine as well. Better sound.
Really?
Yeah, okay, I'm good.
Oh, because it's a combo piece, right?
And it combos off the pants, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we should fix that.
Ow.
That looks really painful.
You'd be right.
What's that?
Ah, if it isn't Philadonia and Rena, how went the meeting with the Sylphs?
It was an adventure?
Several adventures. It was a dungeon. Letter from the Elder. The fluid lettering of Little Soulless Elder Frixio is as beautiful as it is unintelligible.
Oh, jeez.
A missive from the Sylph Elder, Sylph Elder himself, if I may. So the Sylphs have no desire for conflict, nor do they intend to summon Ramu. And so long as we leave the Tempered Ones be, we need not fear any aggression on their part. He can read this! The Elder Seedseer will be overjoyed to hear that the Sylphs have welcomed our overtures. And in the knowledge that they bear us no ill will, we may channel our resources towards tackling the more conspicuous threats to our security. You have done this nation a great service, my friend. On behalf of all Gridanians, I give you my thanks.
Well, thank you, Angi. I actually enjoyed doing that picture. I need to do more.
Oh yeah, the two characters. Yeah, it's a great piece.
Oh, he has another quest. Probably sends us back. Yep. Sends us back to Menphilia and the Scions at the Waking Saints.
Just as I thought, the next piece is reporting in. Back from the wood. Commander Hulu appears to have more to say. The Sylphic folk have long been friends to Gridania. The mere thought of being at war with them pained the Elder Seedseer to no end. But owing to your efforts, she will be able to rest easier. Being the benevolent soul that she is, my lady will surely try to find a way to reverse the tempering process. Yeah, good luck with that. Once again, I thank you. Had the science of the Seventh Dawn not offered to mediate between our peoples, suspicion and doubt may well have led us into needless conflict. Pray pass on my regards to Lady Menphilia.
Hark, the wind chill. Hello, Rena, Ladonia, can you hear me? It is I, Menphilia. Edie and Papalaimo returned some short while ago, and they wasted no time in regaling me with tales of your exploits. Thanks in large part to you, The name of one of the primals may be struck from our list of enemies, and the Guardians may turn their attention to more pressing matters. Well done. Yet, in the end of one tale is but the start of another. Pray return to Waken Sands at your earliest convenience, that I appraise you of the present situation in person.
Because you just can't have a proper cine unless it's in person.
Nope. Well, do we want to take the airship to Ul'dah and do our class quests?
I think that would be best.
Yeah. See if we can get you out of those absolutely, utterly horrible quad boots.
Well, that won't help there.
Aww.
Because, of course, Ul'dah, I'm doing thaumaturge.
Yeah. You're just afraid of the blood sands. We all know it.
Do you believe me? I mean, the name, it even has blood in it.
Yeah, but
What's up with these people?
It is a gladiatorial arena.
See?
What am I right now?
Scary.
Yeah, the main problem here, and the reason why we haven't put our finance is they're not high enough level to get them into some of the really cool glamours we want them in. They are to a certain extent, but there is some really nice equipment out there in this game that it actually makes sense.
But her rogue outfit actually looks quite good on her.
Yeah. Yeah, the current rogue outfit, the current thaumaturge outfit for Ladonia actually looks pretty good.
There, I just thought of that one.
The gladiator needs a little work.
Not as much work as my Marauder one.
Yeah, well. I think...
Which is it?
I
I always have them mixed up. Pick one.
Ruby Road. Follow the Ruby Brick Road?
Good answer.
Zoom!
Mm-hmm.
So who do we want to choose first? Thaumaturge or Gladiator?
Maybe start with yours. It's slightly closer.
Okay, very slightly.
Yes. No, that's right.
Lila. My ears are itching saying that you want to send me on more training.
Would she do that?
Oh, she would totally do that. On holy ground. First Sword Vila has an important mission for you. I bet you do. Oh God, it's those that's where you got them from. No, I don't want them. No. I don't want the other one either. Rena, I must apologize for my earlier behavior. As First Sword, my duty is not only to foster your growth as a gladiator, but to also protect you from dangers you are not yet ready to face. I did not know that Leovold had become the leader of the Alacron. He had chosen to bear his steel against us. Many more of us would not have returned alive. I need to know why he's turned to a life of crime, and so I've ordered my best men to scour Thanalan for any trace of his whereabouts. Unfortunately, one of them has disappeared. I have a strong suspicion that he has been taken prisoner by the Alacran, or worse. If there is any hope of saving him, we must act quickly. I would have you search for our missing comrade. His last report stated that he was tracking the Alacran near the Hammers in western Thanalan. If you go there, you might find some clue to his fate. It'll be far too reckless in these days, and let too many good gladiators come to harm. Please, Rena, find our missing comrade and bring him home safe. Okay, off to Hammerley. There you are. You loaded in behind me. I was expecting you to load in. Yeah. Okay.
I'm sneaky that way.
I'm the rogue!
Not at the moment.
No.
You gave up your sneaky ways.
It's a temporary thing, I assure you.
Mm-hmm.
Zoom! Oh man, I spent several months on Kyoto getting all the riding speed upgrades, and I'm happy I did it, but I'm not looking forward to doing it on these two. Oh, that was painful. Veteran gladiator. Ooh, he doesn't look so good. Hey, mister,
You don't say.
you okay? It's a trap, sister. Look out! It's a trap! Yeah, but this is why I brought a thaumaturge along. You're good at the boom boom.
As long as I don't end up dragging a innocent Eorzea into the fight.
Wait. Innocent and Yarzon. Those words do not belong together. Okay, Mr. Gladiator. That was some fine swordsmanship, Rena. Myla, the First Sword, certainly knows how to pick 'em. Even after all these years, I can't quite bring myself to call her that. See, I still remember when her father first brought her to the guild. A wee lass who cried at the sight of naked steel. But to look at her now, you'd swear she was born with a blade in her hand. Not like she had much of a choice but to rise to the occasion, though. With all the trouble with Aldous got into several years ago. Selfish bastard, he should have never... but enough of my rambling. I'll make my way back to Old after a short rest. You go on ahead and tell Myla I'm fine. Yeah, in a recent re-release of a live letter with annotations, they're starting to grumble that we might be getting 5.3, which is the next major patch for FF sometime at the end of July, maybe early August. I mean, people have been figuring that for a while now, but it's nice to get a little more confirmation even though nothing is written in stone as of yet.
Yep.
And trust me, Rylea and Tharian are chomping at the bit for 5.3 content.
Well, yes and no. I have lots of classes to catch up on still.
Yeah, but they're leaving us with these huge, big cliffhanger question marks, and it's kind of driving me nuts.
Yeah, well...
Mila? Rena, thank God you're all right. I heard about the ambush at the Hammers. Excellent work. You've been invaluable to the Guild, and I can't thank you enough. In fact, I believe you deserve a much-needed rest. Take some time for yourself and return to me when you've recuperated. But before you go, speak with Lulutsu. I believe she has a message for you. Hey, Lulutsu. Ah, Rena, the very gladiator I was seeking. Lean close, for I would not have others hear my words. I'll just send you the cards and request you meet him at the Lich Yard in Eastern Thanaland. Naturally, I've not divulged this information to the First Sword. As you may have gathered from their previous interaction, she's rather upset with him and would likely forbid any further association. Quite understandably, since he was clearly being groomed to be the next guildmaster before that horrible scandal. They would have made such a lovely couple. Forgive me, this is hardly an appropriate topic of conversation. Anyway, you have my word that the First Sword will not hear any rendezvous from me. Right. So, I guess we're off to Eastern Canada?
Yeah. Because we haven't been in enough zones yet tonight.
Nope. They're actually kind of good, bad, take your pick, about shuffling you between zones constantly.
Yeah.
Unlike a lot of MMOs where you generally clear out an entire zone and then move on to the next, this is like, no, you'll take a little piece of A and a little piece of B and a little piece of C and then back to A and then over to D.
And would you like a side helping of Y?
I mean, they get a little better about that in expansions, but in this case, they're taking these kind of actually smallish zones and trying to milk them for everything they're worth.
Yes.
Without
And
trying to get stale.
Yeah, and the later zones do get a lot bigger.
Oh man, some of the latest zones are massive. I'm just thinking of the Tempest. It's like, oh boy. You get into different sections of the Tempest and they're like completely alien from each other. But it's just so far away, it's beyond your draw distance. Yeah. Oh boy, one more district audit.
Yes.
One of the shows I've been sharing with Baron recently has been Aka 13. Highly recommended. It is effectively...
Also, the soundtrack is recommended.
It is pretty much a light mental head game espionage type story. But one of the things is it's taking place in a fictitious country called Aka, which is probably about the size of Australia. And it's divided into 13 different districts. and you effectively have a organization called ACA, which
Yeah, the actual country's name, I'm trying to remember. It isn't actually ACA. ACA is just the Territory Inspection Department.
yeah. But their main job is to go around to all the different districts and see if there's any things happening under the books that there shouldn't be. Weeding out corruption. And it gets kind of interesting. Yeah, excellent jazz soundtrack.
Yeah. And the bit about the another district inspection audit is the main character is kind of the main auditor of all the district offices. So, he works at the main head office and goes flying out to all these outlying districts to check, on the spot their records and everything and make sure there's no corruption in the ACA offices.
And he gets grumpy because he is constantly like, it's Tuesday, it must be Belgium.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's not you, it's Square.
What? What are you doing? I mean, there's nothing here. Come on.
Nope, there's
Middle of
Aldous.
nowhere. Nope. Don't see a thing.
Bye-bye.
Poof. Oh my goodness, you are a ninja.
Hi, Aldous. Like a woman who keeps me waiting. It nurtures the sense of anticipation.
Really now?
It's Aldous. It's been 7 years since Mila's father was laid to rest here. He was mean and stubborn, an old owl goat through and through. But gods, when he danced with a sword in hand, it was pure poetry in motion. Mila's right. There's no way I could know what it was like for her back then, forced to replace her father under such terrible circumstances. And who might you be? Another of Leovold's lackeys? Master Leovold has been most distressed since learning of your return. This is unacceptable. Your master does not deserve your loyalty, kitten. When you've outlived your usefulness, he'll dispose of you like so many others. Believe me, I speak from personal experience. Say what you will, I will not be swayed. She looks awfully determined to kill me. Still, I'm not really in the mood to play. Mind stopping her, Rena? If I have to. No pressure, but I'll be evaluating your performance. Gee, thanks, Aldous. Love you too. Read her movements, Rena. Not exactly high literature. Your interference is inexcusable. This is nasty. Nope. Watch it, Rena. This kitten has claws. Yeah, well, I have a shield, and it goes directly into your nose. you've gotten stronger. Good. I'm glad Mila has a woman like you to rely upon. She's her father's daughter, a leader of men, a true warrior, and an obstinate woman who lets her feelings cloud her judgment. Which is why she needs to be surrounded by dependable people who will give her good counsel and keep her temper in check. Now more than ever, stick by her. She needs you more than she knows. She needs you, Aldous. Though I'm not sure why. Haven't you listened to a word I said? She needs dependable people. In case you haven't noticed, I'm anything but. I'm only here because of unfinished business. When it's settled, there'll be no reason left for me to stay. I owe it to her old man to put an end to this, to give him the peace in Thal's realm by making that bastard Leopold finally answer for his crimes. Remember what I said, Rena. Now go. She's probably wondering where you are.
Poof. Where'd you go?
I'm right here, by the way.
Ooh, there's a party?
Yeah!
Am I invited?
Yeah?
Ooh.
Unfortunately, you have to bring your own gear. Because I don't have it.
Fine enough.
Aldous is a little bit of a sexist. He's got nothing on Hammond, which unfortunately we will not be seeing with these girls.
Which is kind of a pity. I have to say the final conclusion to that chain of class quests.
Oh,
is
that
great.
that was a beautiful piece of cinematography if I ever saw one.
Oh god, yeah. They've got some good pieces in this game. That's like one of their best.
And the entire chain with Hammond is hilarious. Maybe what I'll do is I'll level up Monk off stream and just run through the story so people can see it, because it's a piece of work.
Not to mention, it's possible we might be wanting it for story reasons and 2 expansions.
Yeah, there are, for the most part, the classes run independently of the main story quest, but there are a couple classes that it's actually good to run them because what happens in them actually does affect main story. And it's nice to see it play out instead of, oh, you heard this kind of happening in the background. Eorzea is a sexy chocobo. I mean, look at that plumage. It's gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Go, Eorzea, go. Okay, back to the Gladiators Guild. Hello, Mila. Why are you staring at me like that, Rena? Something the matter? You're behaving rather oddly. I'm afraid I have no news regarding the Alvopran's movements. Remain confident that we will find them soon, though, so keep your blade sharp. Oh God, do I have to choose one of those? I think I'm going to go to the money and then go see if a vendor has something better.
Here.
But I will take that secret gilded sword. That should be an upgrade. Oh yeah, that's an upgrade.
Sword and magic shield.
Sword and magic shield. Yeah. Though, oh my gosh, my shield hair. Okay, that's it. After I finish dealing with Kyoto, I'm going to get onto Rena here and then spend half my life in the gold saucer so I can buy the Emperor's new shield.
Ah. Air shield. Like air guitar, but more protective.
Let's see. The
And not
Thaumaturge's
quite as
Guild
cool
is
as
over
air
here.
classes.
Oh, wait. I think I know which quest this is going to be for Thaumaturge.
Let's see, this is the 25, so it's the second to last in the, Kokobushi. Fortunately, we may not do much more than begin it.
I think it's split into two parts, kind of like mine was.
That would be good.
Are you ready for me to trade over?
I should be. Yep.
There, we are seeing through Ladonia's eyes. I'll just sit here and watch you do your thing. Maybe put you on follow. Yeah, I'll put you on follow.
The hidden chapter. Guildmaster Kokobugyo wishes to enlist your assistance. Ah, Ladonia, I saw you coming this time. I've been more watchful since Kokobuki told us about that dreadful business with Kokobushi. We must locate our unfortunate younger sibling as soon as possible and deal with him. But Kokobuki is not his usual unflappable self. It frightens me to see our eldest so indecisive. Terrifies me, in fact. Perhaps you might speak with him and help banish the air of uncertainty. Yeah, I can do this. Ladonia, long have I agonized over Kokobushi's plight, and the measures I might take to extricate him from it. It would not do to call upon my thaumaturge colleagues. No, they would simply seek to obliterate my brother outright. Our teachings from the Yawning Abyss allow for no other alternative. There is, however, one tiny glimmer of hope. I have had word that the scholars who requested the destruction of Momoro's urn have returned from their expedition. They are currently in Camp Drybone, blowing the ink dry on their collective findings regarding that wretched void sent. I would ask that you go to these experts of otherworldly phenomena and beg permission to peruse their work. God, it's that one.
Yes. Okay, it's not the ritual crying. Maybe we've gotten past that one, but that one was just freaking hilarious.
Yeah. I think that was an early one. I think that was like the level 10.
No, I think it was later than that, but it's just... It's such a Lalafell answer to things.
Yes. Sometimes I wonder if them and the Spothy should trade notes. Oh, mighty creator of the world, don't let me die today. Tomorrow would be so much better.
Let's see, is the sound that being a bit better now? Because we should
Actually,
be
I went
picking up
western.
just your sound instead of my sound and your sound combined.
That would be bad.
You went out the wrong door?
I was headed for it, yeah.
Actually, no, I think you went that other...
It says Western Thanalana.
Okay. Okay, I could be
The
wrong.
map says Western Thanalana at any rate.
Yeah,
Or,
no, that's the
that's
leaking
the
sand.
main quest. Okay, I'm confused. I'm
Yeah,
officially
you went-
confused.
You want to go through Central Thanaland to get to,
Okay, right, Eastern.
Eastern.
I'm just a bun. How am I supposed to know these things?
And you complain you get lost following me.
Well, you know it's bad when I have to correct you.
Sorry. Okay. I guess I'm driving from here.
Yeah.
Get on the bow.
Thought I did.
No, she's mother hinting you. Okay, now you're on the bow.
That's right, dry bone. Right. The Scholars Conference.
Let's go ahead
That-
and cut through
that
the
one gets-
Newt territory.
That one gets hilarious.
Yeah, gonna ignore you, Fate.
Okay, Agni, you have a good night.
Yes, thank you very much for joining us, Agni. Definitely check out Crunchyroll if you're and see if the Gundam stuff is translated for South America regions.
Yeah.
Hello, Monsieur Toxic Toad. Nice to see you.
At a distance.
And those are the biggest ants ever.
Pretty much.
At least they're not as ugly as the giant gnats.
Oh.
The giant gnats are just special.
How much ugly can you put in that Lee?
Yes.
Urza's slowing down just thinking about it.
Do you blame her?
Down below, I think.
No. Said you wanted to go to the church.
No. You're thinking of something else.
No?
I go downstairs.
Okay, we're going downstairs. I can't see your marker
Yes, you can.
without craning
over.
my neck.
Well, okay.
You figure it out from here. I'm gonna put myself back on follow.
Somewhere in Drybone. Not this somewhere.
Oh, that's right. It's a couple different locations.
Yeah, I think so.
Behind you,
Huh?
outside.
Is that for this quest? Void math, yeah. If you seek the definitive work on Mormo, then seek no further. I have penned an in-depth analysis of the most cunning ritual, a method contrived by the mages of Eld to annihilate the soul of this especially potent void set. When it comes to draining such a creature of his etheric energies, one must... but I have not the time to stand here explaining the intricacies of shaping arcane pottery. Here, take my chapter and read it at your leisure. Well, that was easy.
Maybe we can hand it to Professor Eric.
That would be good. I mean, I was figuring that I'd get him wanting to sell it to me at a, suitably high price. Let's check. You wish to learn Mormo? Right this instant? But we've barely... How did you... Well, I suppose I could spare a copy of my writings. I've already prepared several extra sets to share with potential publishers. I can well understand your curiosity. Mormo is truly fascinating, even among the oddities of the Void Scent. She is far too powerful to make use of the tiny holes that open between our realities, and thus must send across only her spirit to possess a corpse of some other suitable host. You'll find it all explained here in the second chapter.
Okay, Foxfire, that's good. Void math, the state of my education after a decade I left college.
Something like that. Okay, I checked in there, didn't I?
Yes, you did. I think it's over in the inn.
Which inn would this be? Because I checked that one.
Oh, no, it's actually on top of that building.
Oh, okay.
So you gotta go up the ramp.
Yeah. I forgot this town actually has a roof or two you can get on.
And then down the stairs.
Yep. Trying not to lose you too badly.
Eh.
You're interested in reading our Book of Mormo? Of course, it would be a pleasure to share our findings with a fellow student of the Void Scent. Here's the first chapter, mine own humble contribution to our research. It tells a tale of how we became aware of the creature's existence, and delves into the nature of the urn that imprisoned her fell power.
All goes back to that bloody urn.
Yep. Well, it's time to Eorzea it up.
She is ready to roll.
Back to the guild.
And out of this molasses.
Yeah. Good grief. And those are like level 24s.
What is?
There's side quests over by the bridge.
Oh, yeah. We'll be getting to those soon.
Yeah.
But not tonight.
No, not that soon.
Go, Eorzea, go, Eorzea, go, Eorzea, go! Woo! Sorry, I have too much fun on this chokepo.
No, really? Yeah. We need more speed increases.
Yeah, but you know how difficult it is to get those maps?
Well, that too, but I'm also thinking in terms of the first stars in other zones.
Yeah. Well, those unlock as we progress through story.
Yes, they do. Next time we're in Limsa, we might want to take a
Make
look
it
at
peak list!
Okay then. Wardrobe malfunction?
Yeah. Not like we haven't done it as well.
Yeah. Saying the next time we're in Limsa, we should probably stop by the Grand Company and pick up some marks, just to get a chance at having some of them.
Marks do not open up until 47.
Oh, good grief! Really?
Yes.
Wow! No wonder it's such a pain.
Yes, it's an in-game grind that most people skip over for obvious reasons.
Oh boy, the extra amount speed is wonderful.
Or they farm Moogle tomes.
Yeah, well, okay. They might be onto something there.
Yeah, Mount Speed. Right now, there are two forms of Mount Speeds in the game. There's 1 star, which you unlock as you progress through story. But you notice there's these 2nd stars here. Those
can't
are
see them.
via. Oh, that's right. I'm on the wrong screen.
Hold on a
I'm
moment.
sorry.
Hold on a moment. There you go. So
Yeah,
like in Western and Central Thanalan, we actually have a speed boost. And as we go through more of the story, more of this column of stars will light up, and those zones will get faster. Then there's these.
Yeah, those are purchased through writing maps that you can only get by getting hunt mark targets, which you can't even start until like you're level like 47, 48.
And rapidly approaching the end of original game. Yeah, that's gonna be a pain.
Okay, why don't you talk to Master Kokobuki?
You have have the 3 chapters of the Book of Mormo.
Mm-hmm.
A scientific study on the characteristics of the void scent seductress known as Mormo. The histories unearthed in the ruins of Silde depict the suffering wrought by a singularly powerful void scent, the cunning and terrible seductress known as Mormo. With genius born of desperation, the mages of the now fallen city fashioned an urn that would drain and imprison the etheric vitality of any creature that laid a hand or claw upon it. Mormo, believing she was receiving a gift of appeasement from the beleaguered citizens, found her very essence drawn forth and trapped within the ensorcelled pot. Over the course of several centuries, the captive etheric energy was intended to weaken and dissipate, allowing any surviving descendants to safely shatter the urn and thus destroy Mormo's enervated spirit. The pot's lid was never to be opened again. To do so would release the ravenous void scent, freeing her soul to enslave the nearest mortal vessel. As possession of this nature is irreversible, the only mercy afforded to such a host should be a swift and decisive demise. This explains Mormo's fixation on thaumaturgicide. Kokobusi's body proved little arcane sustenance for the weakened void scent, forcing her to prey upon richer sources of aether to restore her hideous power. This morsel of information may prove most vital. In fact, it may be the only glimmer of hope our poor sibling has. Pray hand this work over to Kokobugyo. I shall be along momentarily. This is work devoted to studying that nasty void scent? I should hope it provides some hint of salvation. Someone here has a great serpent.
Yes, they have a great serpent, Avranka. Scree!
Kokobuki, these passages hold naught but misery and despair. It seems we have little choice but to employ our traditional approach. Though fraught with danger, there is one solution that promises an alternative to killing Kokobusi. If we fail, however, it will likely mean death for us all. Who is this mad mage that poses as our eldest brother? What of avoiding the threats, of eliminating the risks? Is that not how we thaumaturges do battle? No, we do battle by telling the healers to adjust. With each passing moment, Mormo draws to her full strength. It pains me to even suggest it, but we should strike now, Kukubuki, while the void scent is yet feeble. I share that self-same sentiment. Sorrowful though it may be, we must slay our enslaved sibling, and soon. Listen, brothers, for my solution is thus. In return for releasing Kokobusi from Mormo's thrall, I will offer the Void Scent the chance to glut herself on my mana. You cannot! That succubus will drain you to a lifeless husk, and such a feast will awaken all her terrible magics. The well of my power is vast. I wager Mormo's thirst will be slaked before my spirit fully runs dry. And the newly enlivened Void Scent? She will then face the combined wrath of Ladonia and our 4 guild masters of thaumaturgy. How can we hope to prevail against this paragon of preternatural sorcery? We've always avoided adversaries against whom we held no advantage. The fault lies with me. Ever since I have encouraged such avoidance, and taught only the wisdom of certain victory, it is time we learn the courage to fight battles of unsure outcome. And it is you, Ladonia, that I ask to instruct us. There's yet one chapter left in the Yawning Abyss, one that is customarily hidden from newer members. Undertake the trial found within, and show my brothers what it means to be brave. How can you ask such a thing of poor Ladonia when even her guildmasters have yet to attempt the ghastly test? The arcane might you possess is far greater than you believe. Ladonia, once you deem yourself prepared for the lesson of the true final chapter, meet us in the hallowed hall of Thal's Respite.
Dun dun dun!
I'll be ready in a week.
Yep, we're gonna leave that one right here.
Well, no, we're gonna leave it in the bar.
Okay, well, let's head to the bar. I need to do something about this shield hair. It's cramping my style.
Bang, 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 bang.
And hello, Mino! Came on to say hello just as we're about to lock. Yeah, the Coco brothers are hilarious. Not a problem. So it looks like next week we'll finish up the Thaumaturge quest and then see what new task awaits us with Menphilia. Which I believe will be heading out towards Alamigo, or Little Alamigo. Little lore that is not spoiler is before this game happened, the Garleans came through the country known as Alamigo. They are kind of to the east of, north of Ul'dah, east of Gridania. Ooh, look. Oh, we can sidle up to the bar right here. And they had an uprising happen to overthrow their mad king. And in the middle of that, the Gridanian Empire looked at them and went, tasty, nom 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 nom. And this place has been flooded with refugees from Alamigo ever since. Little Alamigo is effectively a little ghetto town of Alamigan refugees that we'll be heading to next week. Otherwise, thank you. Why'd I get up? I don't want to get up. I want to sit down. Sit down and give me a drink. You got a drink. You lucky. Okay, fair enough. You definitely need a drink after that one. thank you all very much for coming. We look forward to seeing you next week. With Heaven on High, we're looking at level floors 50 through 60, knock on wood. And then next week, we'll be back on these two for more Bun Bun Story Hour. You guys have anything you want to say? Oh, do I have my desktop audio on? My desktop audio was not on. I'm sorry.
No. I'm talking about in Heaven on High.
Okay. Yes, I will have my UI back on simply because floors 50 and 60, they're going to be a little hairy. I need to pay attention to my game.
And yeah, Foxfire, I have referred to this game as the MMO that has like the best graphics with the least effort.
Also, keep in mind that I am not running my graphics on full. I've actually got them downgraded slightly so that I can get a higher frame rate. If they were on full, it would be even prettier.
And frankly, it does get better as it goes along. I mean, mostly it's all the same graphics engine and all that, but, you know, some of the architecture gets a little more impressive, the zones get bigger. Once you're to, like, the second expansion, they have a lot more NPCs wandering around the cities, adding a bit of life to them.
Also, one of the things I noticed with the Stormblood expansion is they also increased the detail and density of the texture maps for clothing on some of the newer items. So you get actually a lot. There's like one piece, it's the Sky Pirates vest that is all this tooled leather, and it looks beautiful, and it's all based on the painting of the texture map, and you couldn't hack that when this game first came out.
Right.
The level of detail they put into that leather tooling. But at the same time, their designs, especially for clothing, are not so out there that you have like New Year's Day parade floats for shoulders.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
Yeah, well, we're about to sign off, so we'll let you go to bed, Foxfire.
I will go ahead and raid Carduin's channel so that if people want to continue on, they can enjoy his little Khajiit fun. Because Khajiit is a sneaky, sneaky cat. And thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate you having you guys here.
Yeah, it's been great.
Khajiit is innocent of all things. You really get into your Khajiit.
You blame him?
No. Good
Really,
night.
it doesn't?
Stay safe. Be well. Really hope to see you next week.
Yes, everyone have a great week.